good to be with you on the program Perspectives this morning. Today is Thursday, and the day is set aside, for us to talk about COVID-19. This program is sponsored by Kaduna State Ministry of Health, and we will be talking about COVID-19, where we are with it, and of course, if we are still staying with the safety measures that have been put on ground for us. COVID-19 is still a reality. It is with us, and nobody should say that it's gone and it's gone. It's not gone. It's with us. And Ministry of Health, Kaduna State, is making sure that we bring to you update on COVID-19 and also to keep us safe. This morning I'll be talking with Dr. Olarunke Zainab Tijani. She's a member of the research pillar of COVID-19 pandemic, Kaduna State. She's a general physician with the 44 Reference Hospital here in Kaduna. And so the talk will center around what people are not doing and what people should do, and to keep us all safe. We are aware that every Tuesday and Thursday has been set aside by the Kaduna State Ministry of Health to talk about this pandemic. It is still ravaging all over the world, and of course countries like advanced countries or developed countries who we think have the facilities to take care of it are still having difficulty in making sure that their people are safe. For Nigeria and for Africa, the story may be different than some people. Science is advancing course for why it is different in Africa and in Nigeria. So many issues have been developed around it that prior to COVID-19, or when it first came, it was said that the streets of Africa will be littered with dead bodies, but that has not been the case. And so lucky here that God has been merciful to the black race in Africa. But again, we see that what is happening in the United States of America, the blacks are coming down with COVID-19. So you may just be wondering, is it the climate, is it the environment, and what could just be the story about Africa and Nigeria back home? And of course, we'll talk about Kaduna State, where we're seeing effort of government in making sure that our citizens are safe. We must also give a lot of kudos to His Excellency Governor Nasiru El-Rufai. When all the pandemic came about in Kaduna State, measures were taken. We had lockdown. We had people who were stopped from doing what they were used to doing. Of course, the protocols were enforced. In fact, there were law enforcement agencies to see to it that we stay safe. And so the intercity travels were banned. And of course, we all knew what the story was, that the governor himself, was the one going round and to see that citizens of Kaduna are safe then. And so here we are. The government has done its part, and now it's saying that the responsibility now rests with us. So what are we doing on our own part, in making sure that we are safe, and of course observing protocols? The schools we hear would be opened any moment from now. The markets are already open. Business has started as usual. Again, it is for us to take responsibility. And for anyone out there that may be saying that COVID-19 is not real, the story is not true. COVID-19 is real. It is a reality. There is no myth about it. It's a reality that we must, keep to safety protocols that are on ground for us. And we know that face masking, social distancing, coughing on bent elbows, washing our hands, with soap, and of course alcohol related sanitation should all be there. The bear hugs should stop, the handshakes all should stop, and of course that we keep social distancing. These are measures that have been put in place for us, and to of course eat healthy foods, and that will help us. But of course, we know that it is a tall order here, that people, the way we live in clusters and all of that, may not be helping the situation. We know today again that people bury their dead and of course, no autopsy, no finding out the cause of death, and so a lot of people have been buried, not knowing the cause why they died. And for us, as a religious people, we keep saying that God giveth and God taketh. This may not be the situation here. In America, every death is recorded, every newborn is recorded, and so they have records. We do not have that here. And of course, that makes it very difficult for us. But we're still recording high cases. The cases are still rising. But there is a lot that we can do about keeping ourselves safe. I'll go for Dr. Olaronke Tijani, Zainab Tijani again, so that we can have on as our guest this morning. Right, she will be the one that will be taking us through on the program this morning. We'll go for a break. We'll be back with you now. This morning, and looking at COVID-19, the reality of it, and what we are doing in Kaduna State, and of course situation in Nigeria and the world over. Dr. Olaronke Zainab Tijani, member, research pillar of COVID-19 Kaduna State, a general practitioner, a general physician, and of the 44 Reference Hospital here in Kaduna. Our guest by phone, Dr. Olaronke, good morning and glad to have you with us.
Good morning, sir. I'm happy to have you guys too.
Thank you. Yeah, I was just giving a general background of the situation we have. COVID-19, some people would say that it's gone and it's gone, but again, we're told that COVID-19 is still with us. But looking around us, what is happening is that we see that people have let off their guards and are doing business as usual. And again, that is causing concern for all. For you, a general overview of it, what is the situation that we have on ground, and must we still stay with the protocols that are on ground?
Thank you very much. It's important that we all get the information and we get it right. The COVID-19 is still on. It is still ongoing. The fact that we got the first case, that's the index case in February 27th of 2020, that means this year, and then there has actually been an increase. Although there was a time that it reduced, and for the fear we have now is the fact that all activities are not fully open. But if all activities are fully open, there may be a surge. The role of the preventive measures cannot be overemphasized. In Italy, presently, they recorded 30,000 cases. That's since April. Their cases have surpassed 5 million. Globally, we are having about 36 million cases. Although we have gotten about 21.1 million recoveries. In France, we have about 19,000 cases. But of course, what I still want us to do is to make sure that we stick to the preventive measures. It is important because COVID-19 is still out there. It is still ongoing. It doesn't move. It doesn't have legs. It moves from people, one person to the other. The use of face masks is still paramount in the prevention of this infection. It's been recovered that by the time an infectious person, one that is infected, sneeze or cough, the drops, the aerosols from their nostrils or from their mouth can actually infect the other person. There was a time they were saying that there could actually be like airborne, maybe it's an airborne disease that even if anybody takes or a droplet drops in the hair, it could stay up to like 8 hours or maybe like 2 hours on some surfaces. But it is very important that we take all these preventive measures very, very seriously. Yes, I look around and I feel, no, we still need to get the message across to everybody. COVID-19 is still within us. It is still very much around. Although the case might have reduced now, but I would think that that might be some factors might be responsible for that. But importantly, we would not lay our guards down as to when we talk to people about the preventive measures. They are still very, very, very much important to us and to the community. We talk about use of face masks, not even only you, because you don't even know maybe the person you are talking to or maybe the person that you are mixing with in the crowd is actually infectious, because some of them might actually be asymptomatic. It means that they may not have symptoms. They may not be showing any of the symptoms that we know about. I'm talking about the fever, the sore throat, the cough, the difficulty in breathing. And we should not forget that there are some people. We should not forget that there are some people that actually have some atypical symptoms. When I don't be vomiting and I'm passing diarrhea, it does not rule out COVID-19. So those are the facts that we want people to know. So, and the fact, if anybody you are mixing with, whoever it is that you are speaking with, we are not even sure if this person has mixed with anybody that has COVID-19 or not. So it is still very, very important and paramount to us to use our face mask, because that at least guarantees some level of protection for yourself and for whoever that you are going to be talking with or mixing with, and to the general public. The use of hand sanitizer is also very, very important to us. It's something that I think that we should know very much, because as we speak, some people believe that yes, that they have actually been doing it and then nothing has been happening so far. Then what has been happening? If what has been happening, and we have to keep pleading and craving the voices of our people in the media, in the public. They should not leave their guards down. We understand how it could be and how frustrating it could be for you to not do this, and for you to use face mask for a long period of time, or for you to actually be locked down. And I would want people to understand how we started, where it started from, what we went through in the past few months. I would not want us to feel or want to go back to that phase. And why we actually recorded lower death rates in Africa, or even in Nigeria, and specifically in Nigeria. But of course, we do not want to go to where other countries are going or where they have been. We still have to emphasize on the use of the face mask. We still have to emphasize on the use of hand sanitizer, the alcohol-based hand sanitizers. We see that is not available. If that is not with us, carry use soap and water. We use water under on tap for 20 seconds. So we can at least wash our hands properly, not just putting the water on your hands and saying, I've washed my hands and I'm moving away. No, please. It's very important, because at times you could do all of those things and you could transmit it or even infect your children or the elderly that you have in your home or in the community. So the little things we can do can actually make a difference in the community and to ourselves. The social distancing that we emphasized on, I'm not sure everybody is speaking to that, but it's still very paramount that please, all the preventive measures should please be adhered to. Thank you. Okay,
Doctor, again, we know that the Unity schools will soon be, get reopened. 12th of this month is what we're looking at, and of course the markets are open now. Places of worship have all been opened for schools, especially now that the Unity schools will be reopened. What are we saying about private schools joining the crowd and public schools? Again, are there areas to worry about with our schools reopening?
Yes, please. Thank you very much. As a member of the research pillar with COVID-19 for Kaduna State Ministry of Health, we actually propose some topics to be addressed or to be looked into or to be researched or to be worked on. One of it is assessment of infection prevention control or capacity by schools and school teachers on COVID-19 in Kaduna State. That should be taken by Professor Tuko Dayo. But in most of those things, and we actually worked on another one recently, that is the study and knowledge of practice on healthcare workers on infection prevention and control of COVID-19 in Kaduna State. We have actually done all that. And there was one that we are actually working on. We are working on presently, that's keeping COVID-19 out of camp and assessment of infection prevention and control practices in an internally displaced persons camp in Zokwa. Those are the works we are working on. But presently, what we have actually put forward to the state government for approval is the assessment of infection prevention capacity by schools and school teachers on COVID-19 in Kaduna State. That is very, very important. The essence of that is to be sure that even if some schools are coming up with, oh, yes, I have all the preventive measures I take, we are actually going to stick to the guidelines. The use of face masks, how long can you keep a face mask on a child? How long can you put a child apart for? Children will mix, they will mingle, they will play. They will play, yes. But the washing of hands, some people claim that, or some schools claim that they have all of those things in place. So at the discussion, what we are trying to do is to have people, there are some teams, there's a team of people that are actually working on that, not only to ensure that those schools have everything, have all it takes to reopen the school, but to be sure that we find it, because after we are sure that they have all it takes, there are still some groups of, there's a group of people that will still go back to evaluate their doing, not just to say, okay, they have it and the school is fine to reopen. We don't want to reopen and then you say you are closing back again because of surge of COVID-19 cases that we could get in Kaduna State. So it's something that I think we could still look into. Fine, that is on, and then the research is going to give us results on, like, for what makes the state government to still do, because we are already in line with the Commissioner of Education for the state as well. All of our reports will be going across through to them. But of course, that is still ongoing. All of our findings are to inform policy decisions, policy making, so that we do not just open schools and say, yes, no, we have lots of cases. How long can we keep children on face masks? How long can we say them? Can we take them outside? And remember that they have been home for so many months. So by the time they go back to school now, they will be so excited. And there is not even the child that has been exposed to someone that probably has COVID, or the child that has COVID-19. So it's something that we need to carefully look into. What are going on that? No doubt. We should tirelessly, the state government is working tirelessly on that since the onset of COVID-19 in Kaduna State. So it's something I think we will still need to at least look into what are ongoing on that. When the results or reports are out, we will communicate to the community and to the government, and then the government will communicate to the media as it's ready. Thank you very much.
Okay, Dr. Olarunke, we'll have to go for a commercial break. We'll be back with you shortly.
Thank you very much.
This is the station playing today's best mix. Terrific. FM.
Welcome back. It's the program Perspectives this morning, a program sponsored by the Kaduna State Ministry of Health to talk about COVID-19, the reality of it, and of course what is being done in Kaduna State. And Dr. Olarunke Zainab Tijani, member, research pillar of the COVID-19 pandemic in Kaduna State, and also a general physician with the 44 reference hospital here in Kaduna, sharing thoughts with us this morning. Well, Doctor, one of the things that we've also, noticed is transportation business has picked up. Of course, the places of worship are all, agog with their activities. We also have our markets opened, and of course, all the areas where we first should concern are all up for business now, and the schools too will join any moment from now. But observing protocols, what are we? Some people would say yes, face masking will do a lot here now. Is it just about face masking now and letting go with other protocols, or that we must, insist on all the protocols that have been in place, to keep us safe from COVID-19?
Thank you very much. It's important that we stick to all protocols. Wearing the face mask, the role of wearing a face mask in the prevention of COVID-19 cannot be emphasized. It's very, very important factor. We cannot do that alone. But we are talking about wearing a face mask that is covering the nose, cheek, and the mouth. Don't forget that we can actually see some traffic that actually touch a surface where the aerosol, where the droplet of the virus happens. So you can see through that, even in your eyes, or even your nostrils, or even your mouth. So you cannot say that this is use or the use of face masks alone. All of the severity that have been emphasized or that have been talked about, or that measured, or that have been mentioned earlier, are very, very important. Washing of hands is very, very important in the sense that if you touch surface like a picture or whatever it is that it has been contaminated with, it has a great role in prevention of COVID-19. And I mentioned the use of face mask earlier in the sense that you are wearing a face mask, and what person is wearing a face mask, that way you have a level of protection to allow, because there's already transmission on going on. Because if you're talking about the same transmission, if the person you're talking with is wearing face mask, you're wearing your own face mask, you get a level of immunity, a level of protection in a certain percentage. In combination with the use of washing your hands with soap and water, also, if that's really available, you can see the alcohol-based hand sanitizers. They are each handy. You can easily get them everywhere and keep them with all time. Although it's not advised that people keep the hand sanitizers, the alcohol-based hand sanitizers in that hand, because it can actually cause explosions. So, the way of all of these things are not the right. So you see, some places, when the market down, are reopening, you see the bucket with water and then the hand sanitizer with soap and water. People to just do it. So that people there to ensure that some people do it. People still the address or informed that they need to stick to washing of their hands, using of the face mask, and as well maintaining social distancing, because it's still very, very important. Because COVID-19, coronavirus doesn't have legs, doesn't have hands. It means when people move. And when I talk about the use of face mask, you see what I said. Even somebody that is seeing you where you are, if you are not maintaining social distancing, the person is sitting close to you, if the person is having COVID-19, you can easily contract it from that person. The person is talking to you and getting close to you. Don't forget, there are some that are not having symptoms. We call them the asymptomatic ones. It can still transmit this virus, coronavirus. So we are talking about people making sure that they adhere to all the instructions. Use of face mask, use of washing of hands and water. You cannot get to the alcohol-based hand sanitizer. And as well, maintain social distancing. You need to keep talking to people to make sure they continue to do that. So we don't let our guards down, and then we get a surge, a high surge, and a surge in COVID-19 cases in Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Okay, Doctor, again, let's go out of the shores of Nigeria. President Donald Trump, just came down with COVID-19 and announced to the world, but again, we know that it's in a stable condition, and that is the society that keeps records. Here, back home, we do not keep records of births and deaths. We bury our dead. We also have ceremonies, birth ceremonies. We have marriage ceremonies. All still picking and still moving on now. Now, for a situation like ours, where we do not have records, how can we relate this to the low rates that we are having now?
First of all, we are saying that we do not have records. No, I think we have records. At the present number of corona cases.
Are we reporting as we should? Are we getting cases being reported and deaths being recorded for, and autopsies saying that it's COVID-19, or we just bury our dead as we're used to?
At the moment, we have some cases that can, like for Nigeria now, we have actually recorded 69,738 cases. We have discharged so far 51,402. In Nigeria, we have recorded 1,113 cases. In Kaduna State, we have 2,463 cases. We have actually discharged about 2,375 that recovered. Then we have 40 deaths in Kaduna State. Globally, we have about 36 million of COVID-19 cases. And then, unfortunately, that's why we want people to take steps to help preventive measures. Because the fact that hungry means that everybody can contact it. In Italy, we have about 20,000 cases. That was the first time that the state will actually increase that much, and then they are surpassed for 5 million cases. So it's not something that we're letting our gas down on. Of course, are not being carried on the phone because we actually have people. Depending on what the president of the hospital then we can actually say, okay, well, we can keep starting hospitals to 19 cases. Others have been doing on top people in Russia actually did that, and they make some findings that improve our management of COVID-19 or learning of COVID-19 presently. Because the president of the may say for him is that among that group, the foreign citizens, the senior citizens, tell them. So that's why, for the elderly people that are actually infected, the fact that there is elderly, but let me take you through what the elderly people have. According to the information, the only person that is age 60 are 10 elderly. Anybody that is age 55 and above, according to the World Health Organization, they are elderly. But of course, the elderly people, they can actually, their immune system can actually reduce. They can easily contracted with this. And then they may actually have hypertension, they may have diabetes, arthritis, all of those things. It depends on what stage of that actually takes the hospital that people need to get. So I would say we are not really expecting people to things like COVID-19 at the moment. That's why everything is in put in place, make sure that everyone actually takes the hospital with COVID-19. Life systems or everything confirmed. I look into the generation center and where they are treated. So, a lot of things that we do to make sure that we get all things to make them recover. For the elderly group that we talked about earlier, that even the benefits of president, that's perfectly down with the infection. The that you get, of course, it's not something that we think that something that we need to back here. If you're letting us cast down, elderly has to be people with things to protect because they may have been severe and they may not actually make it up due to other diseases, the comorbidities and all that. Compared to COVID-19, that can actually give them severe and that can actually kill them. Thank you.
Okay, still on the elderly, should the elderly still stay away from activities, their normal activities? Because again, now that the churches are reopened, markets are reopened and all of that, the elderly, still talking about them, should they still stay away from where, we have active, functions and all of that?
I'm going to finish. Keep them away, constantly. Because one of the things that we found out is that some of them, they be lonely. Once again, they can actually easily get depressed. Some of them may be assaulted. either physically, verbally, or sexually. So if you are saying that the social activities they should be totally excluded from it, and you don't say that, and they don't agree that we should totally take them away from that, we should just make sure that if we get anyone to participate in our activities, we should ensure that they get their face masks on, they should have their hands sanitizer, or they should wash their hands regularly, and as well, they should actually maintain social distancing, which I think is very, very important. If that is arising with elderly, it's actually doing a great deal. But a lot of them are only at defense and they are being afforded. So maybe for the opportunity they have to socialize with themselves or with their members or their friends, with anybody in the community, they would not take it for granted. They would not take it for granted. So it's something that I think we should encourage them. But of course, we should stick or they should adhere to all the protocol. Thank you.
Okay, and in Kaduna State, what areas or where are we having, rising cases of COVID-19? Do we have particular areas where, are of concern and should be of concern to us now?
Yeah, I'm not going to say a particular area. Everywhere in Kaduna.
At one time, it was said to be Kaduna North and Zaria local government, but what was the situation now?
There was a time that we went through all the local governments. We went to Gabi, we went to Chico, Kaduna, we went to Zaria, Dubai, Ikara, Kaduna South, Kaju, Kashia, Zango, Kanga, Diwa. All those places, we don't have cases there. But at the time, yes, Kaduna North, because we even thought that was because people from Kaduna North would come out to have their tests done, and so are other places. So I'm not going to say that, okay, yes, a particular place in Kaduna is at high risk. Everybody in Kaduna is at high risk. So that's why everybody should stick to the assignment. Everybody in Kaduna should stick to the rules, stick to the preventive measures. Thank you. Okay,
Doctor, I will just take one or two calls, have questions asked, or get comments from our listener. So numbers to call to be part of this program, 081 40,000 989. 081 40,000 989 or 070 87 800 989. 070 87 800 989. What is happening in your area? What are your areas of concern too? Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
This is Zamani calling you.
The name again, please?
Zamani.
Damani.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I have a question for the doctor, please.
Please go ahead.
Yeah. Please, during when Trump had the COVID-19, that's Donald Trump, his doctor came out and told us that there were some drugs that they gave him and that it really helped. So I want to ask, if I am self-isolating, can I also use this drug? The doctors they say they use remdesivir and they use dexamethasone and Donald Trump. So if I'm self-isolated, me too, can I use this drugs also?
Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right, Dr. Olaronke, please answer that.
Okay, you're talking about the self-protection thing.
Yes.
We look for the United States President. If you're talking about self-isolation, if you ask when someone is sure that it doesn't carry the virus, so we are isolated to prevent the further spread to other people. So it could work. One thing they said is simple but actually resolved, because what makes it mild, what makes it moderate, what makes it severe is what the people or the person presents with. So if it's having a mild form, it's actually self-isolate, and then of course be on the watch. People like medical personnel to be around them in case if you develop any symptoms or just that the problem and all that. That is the suggestion to get for COVID-19. So self-isolation is very important in the management of COVID-19. And of course, it thinks that we think because our medical personnel to be around them to hold them to think they should move to the hospital. So important, even if it's self-isolation, means that you prevent from contracting it from him.
Yeah, If I could just add to that, Doctor, what the caller was saying that if Donald Trump, some drugs were administered and it was made public. I mean, here back home too, with a fever or one ailment or the other, we know that we can go to the pharmacist or see the doctor and then drugs are administered. Why is that of COVID-19 not made public so that with signs of it, one can go for the drugs?
And they still effort on that to make COVID-19 they still not sure for COVID-19.
Yes.
We cannot say this, but of course we cannot say they are using a particular drug and that's for the case management thing. But of course, for what okay, there is a particular drug that can use for COVID-19. Then we can just assess this drug. I am not sure of any drug, but there are efforts ongoing to make sure that there will be a drug or for the vaccinations. I know there is a professor somewhere like South Wales University, Professor David Morris, is the University of New South Wales, right? He's working on a particular way. So they will make it available to the world. The trusted broken match in financial that is easily used for at least prevent them. Instead of prevent the further spread of COVID to other parts of the body. So, of course, we are trying that it is not. We are trying to do to make sure that some of those things are available for others. Of course, here, I'm trying to people only have fever, talking malaria. So they go to malaria treatment and they do that community fever. They think, oh, okay, maybe this could be COVID. When they had a leg ache back then, when the case was still very hot, that's in the February and March. You don't have to talk to and say, it's COVID, I mean, this one coming, and no, don't worry, it's not the COVID, just this, just that. So, but of course, now, people are also aware that the fever is the symptom of COVID-19, headache, and all that. But even as well, because we have good people in the that are working on how to differentiate that thing that is done. Some people of malaria and all that is right in the case of COVID-19 and then in Kaduna State. There's going to be a work on that. You can work ongoing. So you can even say, this one is malaria and this one is COVID-19. So for us to talk in the drug, there are a lot of antivirals, there are a lot of antiviral agents in the market now. We cannot this one, some are being used in the case management area, in the isolation center and the treatment center there. But of course, you cannot say, okay, this is what we could use. Now, we are still working on it. Thank you very much.
Okay. All right. Well, let me just squeeze in this call. Be my last caller. Hello. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning.
Yes.
Means my own concern is concerning
your name, please. Your name.
My name is Elizabeth. According to the
okay.
So my own concern is about reopening of schools. So they should try and open school. Allow the state governor did not want to open the local school. They should the private school to go along. Do they know the place of the private teachers? Many are there. Many are protected malnutrition. Some are being asked to leave the county. So how can we say like this? And nothing is being done to us. Federal government promise palliative. Nothing we have not seen.